Do you ever wonder why bullies feel pleasure when hurting others? It seems like such a cruel and malicious thing to do, but there may be more to it than just being a jerk. In this video, we'll explore the psychology behind why bullies get a kick out of causing pain and how it relates to the brain's reward system. The human brain is a complex organ that requires a delicate balance of neurotransmitters to function properly. One of these chemicals is called dopamine, which plays a crucial role in the brain's reward pathway. When we do something pleasurable, like eating delicious food or spending time with loved ones, dopamine is released in our brain, making us feel good. However, when we are deprived of dopamine, we can experience negative symptoms such as low energy, lack of motivation, and an inability to focus. This is known as a dopamine deficiency. It is important to note that having a dopamine deficiency does not necessarily mean that someone is a bully. However, some studies suggest that a malfunction in the brain's reward system, including a reduced sensitivity to dopamine, may contribute to aggressive and bullying behaviors. People with a reduced sensitivity to dopamine may be more likely to engage in risky and impulsive behaviors, including physical aggression, in order to get the same high from it. But that's not all. There is also evidence that bullies get a rush of pleasure from seeing other people in pain. A study published in the journal Scientific American found that bullies experience a surge of activity in the ventral striatum, a part of the brain that is associated with pleasure and reward, when they inflict pain on others. This suggests that causing harm to others may activate the same reward centers in the brain as activities that are typically considered enjoyable. So, why do bullies get pleasure from hurting others? One explanation is that they have a reduced sensitivity to pain, both physically and emotionally. This means that it takes more intense stimulation to produce the same level of pleasure in them, causing them to seek out more extreme activities to get the same rush. In other words, they have a higher tolerance for pain and are less likely to feel empathy for their victims. Another explanation is that bullies have a distorted sense of empathy. They may understand that their behavior is causing pain to others, but they simply don't care. Some studies suggest that bullies fall into two categories: those who are truly empathetic and those who are not. Empathetic bullies know that their behavior is hurting others, but they do it anyway because they enjoy the power and control they feel when inflicting pain. On the other hand, non-empathic bullies do not understand that their behavior is causing harm and are not capable of feeling remorse or guilt. It is also important to consider the role of environmental factors in bullying behavior. Children who grow up in abusive or violent households are more likely to become bullies themselves. Exposure to violence at a young age can desensitize children to violence and make them more likely to view it as a normal way to solve problems. In conclusion, the desire to inflict pain on others is a disturbing behavior that can have serious consequences. While it may be tempting to view bullies as simply evil or malicious, it is important to remember that they are still human beings who are driven by the same basic desires and needs as everyone else. By understanding the psychology of bullying, including the role of dopamine and other neurotransmitters in the brain, we can develop more effective strategies for preventing and treating this behavior. If this made you pause, share it. Someone you know might need this more than you think. Face something similar? Drop it in the comments. Your story might help someone else see clearly. This was Mind Heist, where we don't just explain the mind, we expose it. Until next time.